Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we got an all-power dual fuel 12.9. That means 12,000 gasoline, 9,000 propane. So, in today's video, look at this machine. It looks brand new. It pretty much is brand new. This is a tried and true story of fuel just sat too long. This thing sat for 2 years before the new owners bought this house here. And it came with this generator, and this is, pretty fancy newer generator. It even has the propane where it goes to the bottom of the carburetor up through. Most propane, they just go right to the carburetor, right into the intake. So this one's a little regulated more. So it's a really good generator, and it's just not starting. Customer states that you put some starting fluid in it, it starts up and dies. I assume we can test that out, but I'm pretty sure it's the carburetor. And today I'm going to show you how to fix it. It should be pretty simple. I'm pretty sure all we're going to need is a pair of pliers, a 10mm, an 8mm, and a Phillips. And I don't even know 100% if we need the Phillips, but don't be intimidated by a big old generator or a fancy looking carburetor, because you can do this at home. This is easy. I will show you how to do it. I will show you how to repair your own generator, or teach you how to repair generators for your own business, your own small engine repair business. It's really simple, guys. So don't be intimidated by looking at a big old machine and all this fancy stuff. It's all the same. So without further ado, I guess we'll shoot some ether in there, see if she does start and die. Before any of that happens, I'll remove the tools I'm going to use. I put those aside, and that's just out of experience of working on these. There might be one or two more tools that we need, but I don't think so. So let me go get some carburetor cleaner, and we'll give it a quick squirt and see what happens. This machine does have electric start, and I do have a jumper box for when we're ready to actually start it after we're done cleaning it and fixing it. But for now, I'm just gonna pull cord it. So we're gonna remove the air filter, because the air filter cover, because we're gonna have to remove that anyways to get to the carburetor. So we'll go ahead and remove that. Air filter still looks brand new. I'll just show you guys that for reference. Still looks brand new. Got a little bit of dirt and dust on there, but that's normal for here in Arizona. And don't use a lot of this. We're just doing a quick squirt. Just a few quick squirts. Nothing fancy. Choke it up. And that proves what we already knew to be true. It starts and dies. So it has spark, it has compression, but it's not getting fuel. So now we're going to move the camera, and I'm going to show you guys how to fix this. Timestamps down below, but I'm doing this all mobile. No ultrasonic cleaner, no expensive specialty tools, none of that mumbo jumbo. I'm going to show you guys how to do this at home. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Hit that subscribe button if you guys want to see more easy at home repairs. Okay guys, we're going to start right away with our 8mm. Now, most generators you see will have the same getup. They'll have an air filter right here, an air filter cover, and then an air filter holder for the cover. And then after we take off this, we can remove the carburetor, and it'll remove the second part of the cover. So the cover on most generators is 3 parts. So most of your generators are going to be 8mm here. So make sure we pick all those up. So we have 6 on this one. Most of the time they're 6. I don't think I've seen 1 or 2 with 8. And don't worry, even though this bar is here, if you can't get into it, take your ass it. But most of the time you can get back into it. You just have to come at a funky donkey angle. But other than that, we'll put those on our magnetic tray. Okay. And links in the description for any parts you might need for this. I'm going to have just the whole, all power generator parts. Because maybe this isn't your problem. Maybe you need a recoil. Maybe you need the air filter assembly. Maybe you need valves. You know, I'll have links in the description down below for that and other tools. Okay, once we remove the air filter cover part, now we're going to remove, and now here's the thing. You see just two 10mm bolts here, or nuts. Well, there's actually one on the back side too, and all generators have it. I don't know why they just can't put it like right here. You know, they can make something, but they make it damn near impossible. You're not going to be able to get this in there. So, oh, I still got my 8 on there. No wonder it's not fitting. 10mm. All carburetors normally 10mm. Now see here, this bar's in the way. I can't get in there. I can't get in there. I can get in there like that. I want to be careful doing that, but we got it. Easy peasy. Now, like I said, there's one on the back here. Guess I'll give you guys a quick peek. Give me a second. Right there. Don't ask me why, but it's right there. Hey, Poochie. Okay, so I'm going to take that off, and then we're going to get right back to taking this off. So give me 1 second. And all I'm going to do is take my 10mm socket down there with a regular wrench. And wrench it. Actually, to be honest, this one looks like it has enough space to get. And be careful, because this will never happen to you normally. Normally, you cannot get in here like this. Holy shit. That is rare AF. So let me just get you guys back on the camera now. So, we magically were able to get our thing back there, so now we can get this off. You see right there? They could have put it reverse, made it easier. So, that's 1 part, 2 part, 3 part. 3-part air filter assembly on 90% of your generators. And then put this gas cap back on because the customer wants me to leave it running because they're going out and they just want to be able to charge their batteries because they use this to charge their batteries in the sun. But it's been overcast recently, so they need this up and running quick. Now, if you guys look down here, we can take a peek at this carburetor. And it's looking glorious, and yes, it looks scary and technical, but it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Let me show you guys how I remove this. So, just going to pull it out a little bit, like every other carburetor. We're going to throttle it down to remove this. It's just a pull-up. It's just a pull-up. Easy peasy. Now we can remove this. Now, the reason I said we need our pliers is to remove the fuel line. 90% of the time, that's the only reason you're ever going to see me say we need needle nose pliers in these repairs, is to remove fuel lines. Now, before I do anything, I want to make sure that this petcock is working and gas is leaking out. It's on, gas is coming out. That is good. Now right here, we got our solenoid. And it's on the side. I know you won't see a lot of carburetors like this, so to be honest, this is my first time ever seeing a carburetor like this. There's our switch for gas. I mean, shit, I'm learning right now too. But solenoid, it's all the same. It's all the same shit. Oh yeah, look, no, this one just comes in here, cycles around here, and then comes up right to the carburetor, like I said, and most things. But most of the time, they just hook up right there. So, it's all the same stuff. So now we're just going to put the carburetor down for 1 second while we bust out our Phillips. And on these carburetors, if you're ever worried about stripping, use this flared tip Phillips. It works every time, especially if they're even about to strip. But this is brand new, so these things just come right out. Yep. Whether your solenoid's on the side or on the bottom of your carburetor, should be pretty easy just to remove it. Should have no problem. It's going to leak gas all over me, and that's fine. That is fine. Okay. Now that we got that, now see, like I said, this is a different kind of carburetor. There's also 2 bobbers here. So what I'm actually going to do for this type of carburetor This, you guys are watching for the first time here I've ever worked on one of these kinds of carburetors here. So I'm going to remove this propane line here. Remove this propane line here. Now, on the bottom, it looks like 1 and 2 Phillips here hold it on. So 1 and 2. And this holds the propane part on, which is right there. So we could just put that. Little part fell. I see. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna catch everything, pull everything out. That way we don't have to worry about it. Make sure you remember how these bolts went. It goes bolt, washer, spacer into the machine. So now we can put that up here aside, since that's not the part we're going. Now we have just the carburetor right here. And it's pretty standard, like your any other generator carburetor, except it's on the side and then the propane thing's on the bottom, which feeds up here to the top, which goes right to the intake. Okay guys, so we got the carburetor, and I did lie, we're going to need a 14mm and a flathead screwdriver as well, along with some cleaning brushes. A link to some nice cleaning brushes will be in the description down below as well. And I got a nice towel set up because I know Bald Eagle 242 likes to comment on how messy and dirty the back of my SUV is. But that's fine, we love him here on this channel. I just know he goes, clean your SUV out, clean it, clean it. I'm like, man, if I clean it, it's just going to get messy tomorrow. So, here we go. We're going to remove this 14mm bolt on the bottom. Oh, see, look, it's all embedded in there, so you can't hand undo it. There we go. And that is for that. Now we should be able to remove this bowl here. There we go. Now looking into it, it's like a hair or something in there. So looking into it, doesn't seem all that bad. We will pull the float out. I can't even see myself. It's like bright as shit out here. We pull the float, we'll look around. Nothing's looking too terribly bad in here, but most of the time on these style carburetors, the idler right over here. So we're going to remove the idle screw and the pilot jet, or pilot, idle jet, pilot, idle, something like that. We're going to remove that. Just take it, gently pry it up. These things clog, in here clogs. So now we take our flathead, if I could speak today. We're going to press down while we turn, so we don't break that brass. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people break the brass in that, and it's fine, you can still make it work, but you'll never be able to take it out and clean it. I mean, you could still in the end spray it out. But it's not making a lot, I'm not seeing a whole lot of evidence of why it's not running. Pilot jet's wide open. Let me see if I can't show you guys that. You guys should be able to see right through there. So it's not making a whole lot of sense on this front here. But in the end, like I said, we are going to clean it. So we're just going to take our carburetor cleaner. We're going to put the straw in there. And we're just going to spray in there. Let it sit for a second. Just any kind of hole you see, blow it out. Even do it on this black part right here, this idle, this pilot. It is coming out the top. So those are clear now, for sure. Now we're going to come over here. Now when you're cleaning a carburetor, you just want to spray every single orifice you can find. If there's a hole, pop it in and spray in it. Okay, we can take our brushes and just brush some of the stuff. If it was worse, then this is when you would need the brushes, but this isn't really that bad, to be honest. So, I don't know. I do not know, gentlemen. I do not know. So now we just put it back together. Doesn't matter what order for this carburetor. Sometimes you have to deal with certain things on other carburetors, like on the side here of the emulsion tube. There's a pickup tube, whatever it's called. I don't know. I don't know the lingo, guys. I just do the job. Am I supposed to know every single word? I know one guy called me out one time. Sometimes there is a little thing, a jet, that you got to remove on the side. But other than that, I'm feeling that this should work, because it was full of gas and just wasn't picking up. Somewhere something wasn't picking up. Now whenever you put this back on, just make sure you're putting it back on how you saw it. So it's going to go on the back like this. So we know right there is how this should go back on. If you don't know, take it back to the machine and take a peek at it. Sorry about that last scene. It's like 108 degrees out here today, Fahrenheit, in Yucca Valley, Arizona. And my phone overheated. So I got a little bit better view. I just got done in the car cooling it off. You know, I still want to finish this video because it's a really fun video, guys. So now we're going to put this carburetor all back together. So we'll just do it the reverse way we did it. We'll find our little propane part. Remember, carburetor is going to go on like this. Propane part's going to go on like so. So now we'll move the carburetor for a second while we get this ready. We'll put the bolt through with the washer behind. Put the other bolt in. Hold them both up. Now we'll put these spacers in. I don't know if you guys are working on the same generator or just watching for fun to learn. But this should work other than doing these spacer parts. I'm going to show you guys, maybe, I want to show you guys. I want to show you something before we're 100% done putting this back together. So, I'm going to show you guys something here. So now that we got it like that, come around the back. Slowly. I'm going to slowly, I can even get it right where I need it. Okay, there's that one. And now we drop the other spacer. That's fine, we'll find it. Okay, we found it. So now we're going to put the spacer on. Line her up. Push it in. Zippity doo dah. This one we can go tighten and tighten the other side. And then put the propane line back on. Take our pliers. Now, before I put the solenoid back on, we are going to put this up like this. And now we are going to put the throttle cable back on. We're going to move the gas line around, because we can put the solenoid back on while the carburetor is stationary like this. But I want to show you guys that how the solenoid works. Oh, see, this thing is, oh, actually that's pretty jammed up in there. Oh, look at that. Let me get a close-up on that. So look at this gunk here. Look at this gunk. This is probably why the carburetor looked fine and it wasn't running, is because that right there, see how it's barely coming up? So I'm going to clean this off. I'm going to show you guys how I do that. So let's go ahead and clean that up real quick. You see that nasty stuff there? See, this thing should come right back up. But I have to pull it. So let me clean that. Don't worry guys, this is real easy peasy. Don't be intimidated. Just take your brand of carburetor cleaner. I use SuperTech because it's dirt cheap and it works really good. You're just going to spray it. You're going to take your cleaning brushes, clean around where that gunk is. Now you're gonna give it a handy. Just crank that thing, spin it too. Flip it upside down, hit it. Oh yeah, spank that. Wipe it with your fingers, spin it up and down. Yeah, I think this is the main reason why this thing wasn't working. But now look, in, out, in, out. Now, I always like to add a little bit more, just to make sure we get it in there. Hit it like this, upside down, go back up. Try to get as much of that out as you can, spin it. And if this thing is 100%, you're worried that it's 100% shot or you don't want to replace it, you can snip it off, but it's for anti-backfire. Now I'm going to put some power to it and show you guys what it's supposed to do. So give me 1 second. I'm just putting some power to this machine. I got a nice little jump box. I'll have a link to the description of a jump box if you guys want a nice cheap jump box that works for everything I use. So we'll put some power to it, and now that's that's not sucking in like it's supposed to. Oh, there it goes. That's weird. Oh, I see. It was set on propane. So that's when you set it to gas. But see it? There we go. So we know it does go in and out now, no problem. So let's put it back together. Okay, now that we got everything back on, one thing I always do before we do anything is we turn on the gas and we let gas go in there while we prep it to get it back up to snuff. And the only reason I do that is because right now would be the best time to, you know, fix any kind of leaks we see. So we're just going to let some gas pour in there and while we get everything ready. I'm going to go ahead and just slap this on. I'm going to start the back. And from here, what I like to do is now, because we could have a fluke. So I'm starting that back bolt, but there could be a fluke. So we don't know, because maybe gas ain't even in the carburetor. So what I like to do is just before I zip anything down, because you don't want to have to double work. Because you can't charge the customer for your incompetence. So if you don't get it done right and you have to take it all back apart, I believe that falls onto you. Like, that's your fault. So you always just double check. So now we're just going to loosen this. I'm seeing no leaks, so that's very good. Going to loosen this. Okay, gas is coming out. Zip it back in. So we do know 100% gas is in the bowl and there is no leaks. No leaks at all. So that's good. So we know we're not 100% incapable of repairing a generator. So now we know right off the bat that we got one in the back. which we were able to use our impact on, which is great. So I'm going to start with these. I already started the one in the back. That's what I was doing when I was waiting for the gas to come in. Now I'll just leave the gas on too, because just in case it could start flooding out on me. And before I'm finished, I want to know if that's the case. So zip it down, put back in your hose. There's a little hose catch here. It just slides right into place, easy peasy. Come back here, zip that back up. Now we're going to put this part back on. We're going to put the hose back on the back of it. Feels like something's biting too. Son of a bitch. Is that a mosquito or a fly or an ant? I don't know. It's none of your guys' concern, right? You're just here to see me repair stuff. Damn. I wonder if these flies are biting me. That's crazy. Can flies bite? Maybe the desert Arizona flies, because everything else in this damn state wants to kill you. So I'm just hand starting all these before I zip them all down. You always want to hand start everything. That's my #1 rule. Because if you don't hand start them, you're going to cross thread them. And you can get by without 1 or 2 of these. It's not going to hurt you, but it's not going to look good, you know, if the customer notices it. And sometimes you could tell them, hey man, you got messed up, so you're missing 1 bolt. It's not going to hurt nothing. They'll probably be like, oh dude, why? Because the thing's brand new. We want to keep it as stock as possible. You know, but sometimes you gotta replace parts. Okay, now we're switching to 8mm. We are 100% done with the 10. We're done with every tool, actually, to be honest. So, now we just pop our filter back in there. Pop our filter cover back on. Put all my tools away. You guys ready? It's the moment of truth. We're gonna start this bad boy. Let's go. Okay guys, moment of truth. Here we are. And then the customer asked me to plug it in too, and I'll show you how that works here at this place. So we're going to choke it. We're going to look at everything, just inspect the rest of it. We're not going to pull start it. We have an inverter. We're going to turn it on and we're going to try to start it. Okay, so I got it plugged into here, which goes up to here. And this thing only has 287 hours on it. So, that goes to there. Sorry guys, I was yelling. We're gonna open this up. And what that does, let me open this door, it's dark in here. Scared of the dark. See, that plug goes right into there, that box. I'm trying to make a video, wind. Okay. Plug goes right into there, that box. That box goes up here to this inverter. This is an inverter charger. So what happened, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna do it with this. So what's happening is this is taking that power and it's moving it over here to the solar, or down here to this inverter, which the solar connects to, into this battery bank. So what that is, this whole thing is doing is charging those batteries for when the solar's not working. But because we had a storm this morning, it's now a beautiful day, and the windmill's also converting power. But he wants these batteries charged because he ran out of solar today. Woo! Woo! Thank you guys so much for watching this repair on this generator. I normally would have filmed an intro there, but he wanted me to leave it running for him because he left. So I said, you know what? Once I get back on the interstate, because I was like 10 miles out on a dirt road. Once I get back out on the interstate, I'll record a video, an outro. So anyways, as you guys went there, we cleaned the carburetor up. I ended up off camera putting a little bit of oil in there, changing that spark plug, and I think the main reason it wouldn't run was because of the solenoid was all jammed up and gummed up and buggered up. So we got that, we cleaned that, you guys seen that, I showed you guys how to do it. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I don't claim to know everything there is to know about small engine repair. I know a little bit, so if you guys have a small engine question, just leave it down below in the comments. I greatly appreciate everybody who, just says anything. You guys are great. That's why I do this channel, to help everybody out. And yeah, we got it done. We got it running like a champ. It's running right now. Guy said he'll be back home at 7. I made sure there's enough fuel in there. So yeah, I mean, that's how it does. Now, I'm gonna be transparent with you. I charged the customer $100. He gave me 120 because I drove all the way out there right away. The same day he called me and said, hey man, it's my only power source. I said, okay, I'm on my way, man. Normally I would say, okay, I'm free on this day, I'm free on that day, but I had time today. So I went out there, he gave me a $20 tip. I charged $100, got it running, fair price. That's about $75 worth of labor, and then the rest travel time. So yeah, if this wasn't your generator that you need to repair, I'm gonna put on the screen right now a whole generator playlist, and right under that's gonna be what YouTube thinks you should watch next. And of course, that subscribe button's right there. If this video helped you out, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and furthermore, thank you guys for watching so much. Until next time, everybody, see ya.